Hello to all of my viewers and supporters, and hello to everyone who's just viewing me for the first time. My name is Naeem Hudson. I'm also known as King Naan. I'm an international motivational speaker, and today I bring to you one of the most important Father's Day messages. Now, first and foremost, before I go deeper into this video, I just want to say Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. Just enjoy yourself, be happy. It's Father's Day. Now, this topic is, why does Father's Day make so many people angry? Now, I do understand some of the points for why Father's Day makes certain people angry, and I'm just going to explain a few of them. Now, the first perspective. Let's say, for instance, there's a mother and the father walked out on her and he's not raising the son or taking care of the son, and the mother is providing for the son and raising the son on her own. Now, for one, it's hard being a parent, period, just going to work and providing food for the child, buying clothes and all of that stuff. That's difficult. And then to be a single parent, raising and doing all of that, that's hard. That's pressure. So that's how mentally it affects the mother, the father, from the father not being there. Now, the second perspective, let's say the father's done something crazy / inappropriate to the daughter / the son. That affects the child and the mother mentally, because it's like, okay, you're the father, you're supposed to be providing and taking care of your child, not doing all of that, not doing all the nonsense and the crazy stuff that you did to the child. Now, the third perspective, this is something that my father actually experienced as a young man growing up. My grandfather was never there to raise my father, so out of frustration and anger, my father would do anything and everything just to take that anger out on other people, because he didn't want to stand with the stress and the anger. And it's pretty much like my other video when I said don't build a volcano, and that's what my father was in class. He was a volcano already exploded, so he would throw the books in class. And mind you, another thing that affected my father mentally was that he couldn't read or write from the father not teaching him, and the mother, just unhealthy relationship. So that was another thing. Whenever the teachers tried to get him to read, he would throw the book. They sent him to different foster homes. That was all because my father just tried to avoid so much of his pain, so much of his humiliation, out of anger and frustration and doing a whole bunch of crazy things. Now, all of those 3 points / perspectives are very important. But one thing that all of the mothers have to understand, and I totally understand your point. I understand where you're coming from, and I understand how Father's Day could take you into an emotional state. But you have to take into consideration that all of the fathers around the world, that's not the case around the world. That's not the case for all of the fathers out there, because there are people like my dad out there working hard, working and appreciating their children, sending them to school, just teaching them. And there are people out there working hard. So you have to take that into consideration. Even though your baby's father may not be there, you still have to go out and encourage other fathers, because you could go out and you could say Father's Day isn't nothing, Father's Day sucks, Father's Day is a whole bunch of nonsense. You can go out and you can say that, and you can really offend someone out there that's really taking care of their child. And even I see this. My two brothers are raised by their father. And it makes me think, like, okay, these are two genuine people raising their children. And another thing that you have to take into consideration is it's not only fathers that are sometimes not there for their children. It's mothers as well. Sometimes a mother can walk out on the child, and sometimes the mother cannot be there. So you have to think about that as well. And another thing, before I go deeper into this video, now, even though you're a single parent and you're raising your son / daughter, you don't look at your son or your daughter and you go, your father isn't nothing, your father's trash, your father's this, because that's going to affect the child mentally. See, children are like computers. They only have what you program them to. You have to program your child's thinking. So when you tell your child your father's not nothing, that could really make a child grow up affected. Like, okay, so my father's nothing, my father's this, my father's that, and they can grow up and start hating men and fathers, period. So instead of being angry and sharing negative thoughts, you have to take into consideration and just support and be happy for all of the fathers around the world. And also another thing that I hear a lot and I actually see a lot of people do is they say, oh, who do you love more, your father or your mother? Now, for one, to me, that is very, very cross the line, because a child has the same respect for the father and the mother. They love them both on the same level. So when you try to compare the love and break it apart, that's like breaking apart a child's perspective. Like, okay, my dad's not there or my mother's not there, so I love my father more. No. You always have to encourage the child to appreciate and love the father. Even though the father may not be doing his best, you never know. If you just support and encourage, say, look, man, your son needs you. He needs you to be there. You never know what may happen. The father may come back and go, you know what? I'm going to make this right. So if you just share negative thoughts and negative images, the father's really not going to be there, because like, what? Okay, so this is what's going on. I'm not going to do that at all. So like I said, you have to encourage. You have to give motivation and positivity. And even on social media, there's some people who are going, Father's Day isn't anything. Father's Day is nothing. And social media is the World Wide Web. That means everybody can see it. So remember what I was talking about earlier when I said that can affect some of the fathers all around the world. So like I said, instead of sharing a negative comment and a negative thought and talking to your friends about the father and doing all of that, take time to just think and go, okay, I understand, and just encourage and empower. Now, before I go, I just want to read a page out of my book. It's called We Are All Kings. For most of you guys who are just viewing, my book is about young men who have dreams or different things that they want to accomplish, but they don't have the right role model or motivation in order to do it. And if you would like to purchase this book, you can go on my Instagram, Kingnah, Kingnah, and click the blue link in my bio, and it will take you to Amazon. And then you have to type in We Are All Kings, and my book will pop up. Or if you don't have Instagram or any social media sites, all you have to do is go on Google, type in Amazon.com, click on the site, and then once again type in We Are All Kings and purchase the book. Advice to all the fathers. When a man truly loves his children, he will never make excuses. My father grew up in a foster home and never knew his father. He didn't know how to read until he was 17 years old. It really makes me sad when I hear my father's story, but he told me that all the pain he went through made him the man he is today. So if I can give any advice to all the fathers out there, I would say never let your pain make you run away. Allow your pain to make you stronger, and let painful experiences help you to be there for your children. Now, another thing that I like to say, even if you are a father going through struggles and pain, that should make something click and go, you know what? I don't want my child to experience the same pain. So for my child not to experience that same hurt and pain, I'm going to be there for my son. And that's what made my father. He went through all of the pain, all of the struggle, the frustration, and he let that pain make him stronger. And he became the man he is today. So I hope all of the men and the women learned from this video. Once again, happy Father's Day. And I'm going to go spend some time with my dad. Peace, guys.